Hey, have you ever ran Google Ads campaigns in the past and they just didn't work out? Hey guys, Silvio Perez from AdConversion, and in today's video, we're going to talk about the 3 common reasons that I have personally experienced time and time again when working with new clients that have struggled in the past with Google Ads. These are the 3 most common things that I just keep seeing again and again that have led them to saying that they did not have success with Google advertising. It's my goal with this video that if you're someone that's currently struggling with your Google advertising campaign and you haven't found that success that you're looking for, that hopefully after watching this video, you can reassess your campaigns based on the 3 common reasons that I'm gonna outline, and then hopefully find that clarity that you've been missing. And if you're someone that hasn't launched your Google advertising campaigns yet, that you can use this video precautionarily, that way you can avoid these 3 common mistakes. So without further ado, let's get into reason number 1. The first reason and most common mistake that I have found people to say Google Ads just doesn't work for me is poor expectations. A lot of the times, not even a lot of the times, all the times really, people will come to me, clients will come to me, potential clients that they've struggled in the past with Google Ads and they want to be successful moving forward, and they'll come to me and they'll say, hey, I want to get more leads, I want to get more customers, I want to get more revenue, I want to get more. It's just always more, which is great, but it's never a specific number in mind, something very tangible that you can build a plan around. It's always just vague and in the air of just, more conversions at a less cost, for example. And I've noticed that that's not a good way to go, because if you don't have a solid plan in mind, you're not going to be able to set the proper expectations to achieve that outcome. A lot of the times we think our Google advertising isn't working, but when in fact, especially with these clients that I found, is they think it's not working, but it really is, given their existing targeting and their existing budget. It's just they just don't have the proper expectations yet because they haven't done the work to plan and to research and to ultimately do the math required to understand if they want to achieve this specific outcome, what is the targeting that I need, right, for that plan that we're going to put in place, and then what is the amount of money that I need to put into this campaign realistically to achieve that outcome. Successful advertising, not just Google advertising in general across channels, comes down to math. And if you want to be successful with advertising, you have to do the math. And ultimately, that's going to set the proper expectations for you so that when you approach a new campaign or a new service that you want to promote or whatever it might be, you can go about it in a much more calculated way where you can set the proper expectations before you even launch or before you even decide to start creating your campaigns, and from an economic standpoint that this makes sense for you.
In order to really illustrate the point of successful advertising coming down to crunching the numbers and doing the math, let's pretend you are a DJ service provider. So you are in the business of helping people have an awesome time at their parties, playing music, getting the crowd pumped, and just good vibes all around. Now let's say you decided you wanted to advertise on Google and you wanted to get 10 new parties per month. So in order to crunch the numbers and do the math, we have to get some information first. We need to know our estimated average cost per click. We need to know our target marketing conversion rate, which just basically means of all the people that clicked on your Google ad and came to your website or landing page, what percentage of them actually turned into a lead. And then last but not least, you need to know your sales closing rate. So of all the leads you got, what percentage of them are you actually turning into a client, or in this example, a party? So let's say you want to get those 10 new parties. You want to grow the business. And you found out, according to the keyword planner, that your estimated average cost per click is going to be $6. And your target marketing conversion rate is 10%, and your sales closing rate is 10%. So of all the clicks you get, 10% turn into a lead, and then of those 10% of the leads you get, 10% is going to turn into a party. So now that we know that, the next thing we need to find out is what is our cost per lead. So for every 10 clicks we get at $6 per click, we're going to convert one of them into a lead because of our 10% marketing conversion rate, which means our cost per lead is going to be $60 because 10 clicks at $6 a click is 60 divided by 1, which is the amount of leads we got, is $60. So our $60 cost per lead. So we know it's going to cost us $60 based on these numbers to get the phone to ring of people reaching out to us, interested in hiring us to do a party for them. Next, now that we know that, is what is our cost per acquisition? So in this case, what is our cost per party? So for every 10 leads we get at $60 per lead, we're going to convert one into a party because of our 10% sales closing rate, which means our cost per acquisition is going to be $600. So that means it's going to be $600 per party. So now we know it's going to cost us, based on these numbers, $600 to get one party. That's not one lead, that's one party, meaning one party where they have paid you. So now the next thing we have to ask ourselves is, how much do we need to spend in order to reach our goal of 10 parties per month? So we just plug in the formula. Our monthly budget is going to be $600, which is our cost per party, times 10, because that's our monthly party goal, which means our monthly budget is going to be $6,000. And if you want to get the daily budget, you're just going to take that $6,000 monthly budget divided by 30.4, and then you have your daily budget of $197.37. And by the way, if you want to learn more about how to calculate your daily ad budget and you want to learn more about this process, I created a full video on this called How to Calculate Your Daily Ad Budget that I'll link in the description box down below that you can go check out. And I show you different ways you can calculate your daily Google Ads budget. But I just wanted to illustrate this point in this video of the importance of doing the math and knowing your numbers. Because at this point, if you know it's $600 for your cost per party based on these numbers, and obviously you can improve these numbers. If it's $600 your cost per party, then at that point it's just a formula. You know, if you put in $600, you're going to get one party. So then depending on the amount of parties you want, you multiply it by that number. And it's as simple as that. So you really want to make sure that you approach your advertising in a scientific manner and you really have enough budget in place that can actually realistically help you reach your goal. And ultimately what this is going to do is going to set proper expectations for you.
The second most common reason and mistake that I've found is not having the proper conversion tracking in place to be able to tie your Google Ads performance to the bottom line. To be honest with you, it's almost insane to me how often this happens and how commonplace this is. It's crazy how many accounts I take over and them not having conversion tracking is the norm. I know it can be technical and it's overwhelming, but it has to get done. If you don't have conversion tracking in place and you have no way of being able to tie your marketing performance to the bottom line of the business growth, honestly, you might as well not even do anything. And that's my honest opinion, because you're essentially flying blind and just throwing things at the wall and not really understanding how you're going to scale that effort or really have any control over it. You can have the best media buyer in the world. I'm talking the Yoda of Google Ads managing your account, but if you do not have conversion tracking in place, they're not going to be able to do much for you from a conversion standpoint. They can optimize to make your ads better from a click-through rate standpoint, but really you're going to be leaving all your potential opportunity on the table without having conversion tracking. Again, I get it. It can be technical, it can be overwhelming, especially when you didn't go to school for this. This isn't something that they teach you out of university or high school, how to set up conversion tracking, but there are a lot of resources out there that you can utilize to learn how to do conversion tracking if this is something that you want to do yourself. Maybe you don't have the bandwidth to hire someone to do it for you. You can go on YouTube and you can look at a lot of great tutorials made by a lot of awesome other YouTubers that teach you how to set up Google Ads conversion tracking so you can get that information that you need to be able to tie your performance to your business objectives. And then the second thing as well is, if you do have the bandwidth and you do have the cash flow, you could always go to something like Upwork.com and hire a freelancer to do it for you for a very affordable price to just set up all your conversion tracking as well. You just tell them what you need and then they'll be able to work with you to make sure that everything's working properly. Finally, the third reason and most common mistake that I've noticed that leads people to say Google Ads just doesn't work for me is lack of management, otherwise known as the set and forget. It's an active process. If you've never heard this before, It doesn't work straight out of the gate 9 times out of 10. You got to make things better. With your Google Ads campaigns, it's a continuous process. Just because you went through the work of creating your campaigns and setting your keywords and creating your ads or whatever it might be, that's great and that's awesome, but you want to make sure that you're constantly reviewing your performance so that you can improve it over time. There's a lot of work to be done in these accounts to make sure that they are producing the outcome that you want. For example, you want to make sure you're reviewing search terms. You want to make sure you're writing new ad copy. You want to make sure and see how are you performing on a device level, on a demographic level, on a geographic level. There's a lot of information as your account continues to run and you accumulate that data because you set up that proper conversion tracking. You can actually see what segments of targeting are performing best for you. So now moving forward, you understand how your ads are performing on a conversion basis and all the other different targeting options you have in your account so that you can improve it moving forward. The reality is, most people, they'll create the campaign, they'll throw it out there, they don't have the proper expectations, they don't have the conversion tracking, and then they turn around and they say, oh, this thing doesn't work. And the reality is, you need to have the proper expectations. Do the math, find out what is the outcome you want from this and the budget required to reach that. The second thing is you want to have that proper conversion tracking in place so you can tie the loop. And finally, the last point is you want to make sure you're continually improving and optimizing your account so that it is moving forward in the direction to reach that outcome that you set when you decided to run this campaign in the first place. That is it for this video. I hope you got tremendous value from this video. If you did and you want to be notified of future Google advertising content that I release, feel free to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification icon so you are notified. And also feel free to like the video if you got some value from this as well. That'll help me get the video ranked higher in the search algorithm, and that'll help me out a ton as well. And also, if you want to get exclusive tips and tricks and get the inside look on what's going on with me and just to stay connected, feel free to hop on my mailing list, and the description box is down below. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until next time, take care.